used to play in a rock and roll band, but they broke up. Neil Young sang it in 2000 on his solo album Silver and Gold as a tribute to his former band.
Used to play in a rock and roll band, but they broke up.
It is this very band that released 3 studio albums within just 2 years. Albums that were generally dominated by the unprecedented talent and work ethic of Stephen Stills, but also showcased the completely unique sound of Neil Young. For this album ranking episode, I went through this concise yet powerful discography to rank it properly. Dear viewers, I present to you Buffalo Springfield.
You know, friends, now we have 5 fellas who call themselves the Buffalo Springfield. Please, no overtime. I'm not sure where they got their name, but I know that in the past year, they sold enough records and made enough money to buy Buffalo and half of Springfield. Now, right now, they're going to sing and play one of their big hits, the Buffalo Springfield.
Hello, and welcome to a brand new episode of We're Only in It for the Music, a YouTube series that takes you through the musical universe, from ABBA to Zappa and everything in between and beyond. Click the like and subscribe buttons, and hit the notification bell so you'll never miss an episode. But enough of that, never mind the bollocks. We're only in it for the music. Welcome back to We're Only in It for the Music. Today, an album ranking of Buffalo Springfield, just like the previous episode on the Jimi Hendrix Experience. A fairly compact discography, with only 3 albums to put in order. But sometimes it's nice to skim through an entire body of work in one sweep and quickly arrive at a final result. And that way, you still get to enjoy your evening as well. Let's get started. Stop! Children, what's that sound? In third place, we find the band's self-titled debut album, originally released in 1966 but reissued in 1967 after the massive success of the single For What It's Worth, with that timeless classic added to the track list at the expense of Baby Don't Scold Me. For this ranking, I included both songs in the evaluation because they are both part of this first record, one way or another. For What It's Worth is clearly Buffalo Springfield's signature track, both of the album and of the band, and the song is simply too iconic to ignore. The debut is quite consistent across the board and fits perfectly within the musical landscape of the late 1960s. Stills dominates as the main songwriter and leader of the band, while Neil, as Neil has always done, goes his own way. The result is a beautiful blend of country, rock, soul, and jazz influences, a strong starting point for a short but wonderful musical journey. In second place, we find the final album Buffalo Springfield, recorded before they fell apart. By the time the album saw the light of day in late July 1968, the band had already broken up, and the members were all busy with the next chapter in their musical careers. Richie Furay, Jim Messina, and Rusty Young were busy forming the country rock band Poco. Stephen Stills had met former Byrds singer David Crosby and former Hollies singer Graham Nash, and would soon form a super trio with them. Neil was working on his solo debut, which would be released not long after, and he would join CSN a few years later as well. Last Time Around was assembled from previously recorded archive material, stitched together to form a coherent album. You can clearly hear this in the uneven quality of the songs. The album contains several outstanding tracks, but also a few misses, a case of some extreme highs and deep lows. The Stills composition, Questions, appears here in an early form. Later, the song would serve as the coda to CSNY's Deja Vu opener, Carry On. And at number 1, we find the band's second album, Buffalo Springfield Again, from 1967. By far the strongest record the group ever released. Side A opens with the wonderfully rocking Mr. Soul, yet another signature track of the band. This album also contains perhaps the most beautiful song they ever recorded, the dreamy Expecting to Fly. The music is almost cinematic, taking the listener on a musical trip. Buffalo Springfield again allows more room for experimental arrangements and song structures, something clearly heard in the iconic closing track, Broken Arrow. The song contains various sound fragments, including parts of the opening track, Mr. Soul, a snippet of Take Me Out to the Ball Game, and even an improvisation by a jazz combo. This cacophony of sounds and styles is continually held together by the main musical motif of Broken Arrow. Alongside other rock-solid tracks like Bluebird and Rock and Roll Woman, Buffalo Springfield Again is the best album the band built around Stills and Young ever made, and therefore fully deserves its #1 position. So to recap, at 3, their first album, at 2, their third album, and at 1, their second album? Or, put more simply, 3 is 1, 2 is 3, and 1 is 2. Are you still with me? Just wait until we get to an album ranking of Chicago, with nothing but numbered albums. Brace yourselves. It will be a numbers game. And that was Buffalo Springfield. Those were the 3 studio albums. What is your favorite Buffalo Springfield album? Let me know in the comments section. I'm curious to hear your preferences. Listen to Buffalo Springfield and all the other music from this series in the Spotify playlist via the link in the description. Follow the social media pages on Facebook and Instagram for all updates, because I will follow you if you follow me. And don't forget to click like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Tell your friends about the channel. Why not? It's greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. And in the meantime, drop the needle, press play, and remember, we're only in it for the music.